Okay, let's do a list with some items in the list, namely a chart and a table. So this was kind of neat to do. What this is listing is the top 3 movies for each country. Top 3 as far as box office sales. And of course these are award-winning movies too. They're not just the top grossing movies, they're the top grossing award-winning movies, Oscar-winning movies. And so it works pretty well except for Russia, because Russia only has 1 Oscar-winning film. So it doesn't work too well for Russia. And I had to do a top 3 because United Kingdom and United States have so many movies that that it blew apart the chart. There were too many pieces in the pie. So I had to create a query for that. So let's go in, let's start all over again. So I'm starting with a blank report here, except it's already got my data set. And here's that data set. It's a little easier to read if I bring up Query Analyzer. So it's an over clause with a partition by. So we're partitioning by the country, and we are ordering by the box office dollars. And so this allows us to actually, and then we can get a film rank. So this allows us to not only rank by the box office dollars, but to stop when we get to 3. We could change this 3 to a 4, and it would stop when we get to 4. So we could have the top 4, top 5. So this over clause is really nice because otherwise it'd be very difficult to write a query like this where you're just getting the top 3 movies based on the box office. So we cut and paste this into this box here, and that is our data set. And so now what we want to do is, first thing we want to do is put a list on here. And once we've got the list on there, we can now just go ahead and put the film country on here as just a floating field, which is kind of different. But now this is going to be basically the parent, and all the data will be the children. So that's how all the data on each row is all for the same country, because this is going to be our parent record. So we need to now convert this cell into a group. So we want to right-click down here, and we go, and add the group, and of course we're grouping on country. So now we have a group. So now if we go into preview, we can see we've got the beginnings here of our design, and now we can add our chart, and we want a pie chart. So let's just get this up here and stretch that out a bit. Okay, now we want the category to be the film name. That's not what I want. Let's get rid of this. There we go. Category, film name. And we want to set the values to the box office, of course. And it's already doing a sum here. And now we want to add a table. So we're going to put a table here, and we want to put the film name and the release date, and that's all we really need. So now we can delete the columns, and we can actually, what we need is most of that space for the name, not the release date. And we can format that over there. And so now when we do a preview, we can see we've got the film name and the release date, and you can see the box office dollars. You can see like The Fifth Element was France's biggest box office. China, it's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, no surprise there. Chart doesn't work too well for Russia and Japan. They don't get too many Oscars. New Zealand is where Lord of the Rings was filmed, and you can see all the Lord of the Rings titles did about the same, so the fans kept coming back for more. In the United States, Titanic edged out its competitors, which were two of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Interesting, I didn't know that. So we could, of course, go back and get the formatting so that it looks more like this one did. But I don't want to bore you with that. That's all there is to it. Of course, if you want these on separate pages, then you just come into Group Properties and you go Page Breaks, and then you break at the end, and now it'll break on each one, and so now each page is its own chart, and that's all there is to it. Leave comments if you got any.